Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Yes, Follow the Money. Pauly Howard, Mike Palm, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, Channel 158, VSiN Watch app, live from Circa downtown Las Vegas. When we say eclectic mix, we mean it. Frank Schwab to talk NFL. Richie Bachelari on a great college hoops card tomorrow. Also get into his 20, 30 years in the business, also booking. He has some great stories coming up. Lou Finicaro on UFC, Chris Smith to talk MLB and the Red Sox, Jonathan Davis, Four Nations, NHL, some futures as well. Nigel Seeley checking in, and I cannot wait. In an hour and 15 minutes, the Dirty Dozen, almost 30 years in the business. Don't be that guy at the casino. Let Mike Palm cook. Palm Readers Unite. I'm looking forward to that list, and you do all the legwork. How you doing?
Nice. Paul, the amount of prep work you put into this show was staggering. A month's worth of prep today. I'm very proud of you.
Okay, thanks a lot. It's good. It's good.
The shot on the front end.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's how you started. So I'll tell you, it's great you walk into news like this. I know it's a slow time with both NBA and NHL on break, but according to the Sports Business Journal, we could get the Super Bowl again in 2029. So we are in the rotation. We are the Mecca now. We're a Final Four. We're already the home of championship week, where we have 5 conference titles decided here as well. So we just had the Super Bowl. The report says we're going to get it in 2029. And then let's get in this rotation. Let's make this a regular thing out here.
Absolutely. And I think one you haven't heard yet, but behind the scenes going on, Big Ten conference championship games. They can't just keep them in the Midwest with the 4 West Coast schools.
Good point.
They're going to have to rotate it. Maybe every third year it comes west. Vegas is a great site for it. Obviously easier to do football. I know Indianapolis kind of has a lock on stuff, but I think within the next 5 years we'll get a Big Ten conference championship in either sport out here.
Yeah. So with the Final Four coming, likely an NBA team. I mean, this is fascinating how this became, small town, a 3-shift town, can't support anything. Mm-hmm. And then I remember I was terrified, though, that hockey was going to be first here. Because I thought it would fail. Who's going to support an expansion team that's going to stink for 3 or 4 years? And then the incredible, astonishing happens. They go to the Stanley Cup right off the bat, and the city falls in love with them.
I'm talking to Jeff Erickson the other day on my radio show in Chicago about I can't get my kid to have any interest in baseball. All he wants to do is play hockey and soccer. Right? I mean, this is a hockey town now because it was the original, and they did it right. I mean, Foley, They did it right.
Yep. What's the rotation? Is it Miami, New Orleans, and Las Vegas with an occasional Los Angeles? Or you want to throw a Tampa in there? What do you think? But it looks like we're in the mix now.
I think SoFi definitely stays in the mix.
Okay.
I think your SoFi, I actually think it's probably a 4 mix. And I think the main 3 are going to be New Orleans, Las Vegas, L.A., and you throw a Miami and you throw a Phoenix in there as like a 4 rotation, and they get it every 8 years, those other 2 cities I mentioned. That's what I would say. New Orleans has been the host of most of all.
Yep.
Right? But now it's all big domes, it seems like, and we don't play in the Rose Bowl anymore, and it's these newer dome stadiums. And so I think I think it's going to be a 4-year rotation with 5 cities involved is what I would say.
Did you talk to Derek? Did anyone with the staff here about what this could mean, though, and how big this is?
He's so fired up. He's so fired up about what it means to the convention business, to the hotel business. That's why we can get these rooms built and finish out these floors, because it's very necessary because of the pressure that it brings to the city in terms of visitation. So it from going from nothing to 100 degrees this quick is pretty remarkable.
Right, and we're cutting in line, too.
Oh, yes.
That we did so well, and now we're looking back at this and grabbing another Super Bowl, according to one report, in 2029.
I tell you, a big thing about this, where they pick these things, are walkable places, where the events can be close together. You know, they always say, if Dallas is great, you got Jerry World, but you got to drive 2 hours to get to each event. It's so far away from downtown. Here, it's very close. It's all 10-minute rides. New Orleans is the walkable, that's important to people when they plan events.
All right. Well done. What'd you think of the hockey last night?
I'm so fascinated by this, Paul. And I'm Jonathan Davis coming up in less than 2 hours. I'm all in on Canada. I've watched both. The price now got out of line. It was a pick going in. Now all of a sudden you're getting 140 or 145. The only advantage the Americans have is the goaltending. It's stunning, Paul. I went back and looked at this. When I looked at these rosters, I said, where is the Canadian goaltending depth? They've gone a generation without creating these great goaltenders. So I went back. Do you know 30 years ago, 81% of the goalies in the National Hockey League were born in Canada, and today it's less than 20%.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's a whole generation has gone by where they did. People don't want to play goalie. I don't know, but the Canadian.
You think it's that big of an advantage? Even did you see
America has a big advantage, except for one glaring thing. Hellebuck's never won a big game. This is not the regular season, Paul. Subban was right. This first goal was awful.
Did you see it?
And
I thought his rant was pretty good.
And what's your option? Fake Ace Ottinger? Mitch will say no to that, too.
Yes.
But Canadians are faster. They play together better. The power play is better, and they have the best coach in the world. I think they check 4 of the 5 boxes.
Yep, I agree with you. I know. And rooting for hard. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow. But I would have to lean Canada as well. And I know
I'm not betting tomorrow because it means nothing. They're going to meet again in the final.
No,
There's no way Canada's going to be. They play Finland their last game. They already beat Sweden. Right. So, I mean, there's no risk for Canada because they're going to beat Finland easily. Finland's the weak link here. Sweden's better than people thought. It'll be fun to watch tomorrow, but next Thursday, the final will be.
You could have took advantage, though. After Finland got the quick one, it was USA was only minus 160 to win the game.
I saw it.
And then they rout them and take them out, and it goes off. So if you say that, and I understand where you're coming from, how about the total? 6.5 in some spots.
I think tomorrow you go over because I don't think they play with the intensity and the physical injury risk until the final game, which would be it's going to be like a gold medal match.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next Thursday.
Yep. Very good. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And Paul, just to tell you.
Yeah, I'd have to go.
And I discussed this with Stormy earlier. All these all-star games, which is essentially kind of an all-star, but nobody cares about anything betting-wise in any of the 4 sports except the home run derby. Now, if like Sabrina or Caitlin would have been in the 3-point contest, people would have bet on it.
Yeah, they blew that. That was ridiculous.
They blew that. But this here, we wrote 6 figures on both these games the last 2 nights. All right, and maybe we can get to $250,000 right next Thursday. I don't know. Tomorrow probably will. People will still bet it, but we had hundreds of people here in the book. It filled up the book both nights. Canadian fans and then USA fans last night. It's tremendous.
Can't beat it.
No,
when you're talking soccer, hockey, whatever, Olympics, or you're right. It's the nuts. We'll talk about the card coming up with Richie Baccellieri, who works here at Circa. He loves the trash. We'll go over the top games, and there's some great games tomorrow. I will say this first. A lot of people you were the first on this. A lot of people are now pointing out how good Drake is. And now you're seeing maybe a 10 seed, but now even John Fanta with the tweet, they are now 23-2 talking about this team absolutely deserves an at-large.
Well, that's what my concern is. Do they have to win the conference tournament? If they run the table to the conference final, that would mean beating Bradley again, which I think is the second best team in the Missouri Valley, and get to the final game and lose, they'd be 30-3, Paul. With 4 wins over Power 14. I think they got to get in. Mm-hmm. Now, last year it was a 1-bid league. Indiana State got shut up, but we had 6 bid stealers. Huge upsets in these small conference tournaments. I don't foresee that happening again. That's an abnormally large number of bid stealers.
Right. But again, the history's against them, though. 6 of the last 7 years, it's been a 1-bid league, and they shafted Indiana State last year. It was a horrible job because everyone would have loved watching them play as well. And I'm with you. You win. I don't care what league you're in. You win that many games, you got to get an at-large bid, and the schedule's certainly favorable and doable the rest of the way. How about Alabama 1.5 and 172 against Auburn?
I don't know how you bet these games under. I mean, with the pace that these two teams play at, they want to play above the rim. I would probably only look at the total on this game, but it's going to be fun. A lot of people pointing out, and they're deservedly right. Mm-hmm. You can't put these games 2 hours on top of each other.
Well said.
So now we're going to watch the first 8 minutes on ESPN News, right? Because you had the game before it. It's got you've got to start scheduling them on the quarter hours with these incessant replays at the end of the game to put 0.1 seconds back on the clock.
We have this all the time in the madness, and especially championship week, where they don't space them, and then a game goes to overtime, and then you look and you got a game going until midnight. But you're exactly right, where how ESPN doesn't do this right, and Alabama and Auburn fans were on this from the get-go saying, get ready, the thing's going to tip on ESPN News. Yeah. So how they do this with the back-to-backs, you're exactly right. Are you taking Arizona then? Houston 1.5 at Arizona? You're not a believer?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know. I like Calvin Sampson. Did you see what Calvin Sampson said about the Arizona program and how when he was at Washington State, it wasn't UCLA everyone on the West was aspiring to. It was Lute Olson with Arizona. He paid proper homage. I don't think enough people know how good that program was. Should be a heck of a game. I thought Tommy Lloyd got out coached. They should have won that game at Kansas State, and I was on the other side. I felt very fortunate. Once Arizona gets the game tied with 3 minutes to go, I thought they're going to win the game, but they don't execute down the stretch. I'd lean Arizona here, but no play.
Yeah, okay. And then Purdue's 5.5. Illinois 5.5 against Michigan State. Ole Miss is 5.5 against Miss State. And Texas, 1.5 against Kentucky with some of the marquee games.
Impressive game by Kentucky against Tennessee the other night. I didn't see that coming.
Can they do it again, though, right? And now they've moved up to a 3. Joel Lenardi now has 14 teams in from the SEC. 14 bids.
Paul, full marks and credit to Florida after beating Auburn to be able to go and do that.
They're a 1 seed now. He's got them up on the 1 seed. So this is, I can't believe that. But they deserve it, absolutely. But if you can get 14 teams in, and San Jose State in action tonight, 18-2-1 ATS run. I think Richie B might be on them coming up. VSiN fans, plan your Vegas getaway. Derek Stevens offering you 15% off at 3 incredible properties. Circa Las Vegas, the D Hotel. Don't you dare sleep on the Golden Gate. The best deal in town. Get the suite over there. Great showers. Get the penthouse. Have a cookout with the barbecue. There's like 6 big screen TVs in there. It's phenomenal. At the Golden Gate Penthouse, all 3 properties are dynamite. CircleLasVegas.com, code VSiN15. Get 15% off. CircleLasVegas.com. Your Vegas adventure starts here. Some futures, some rumors, some news. Frank Schwab to talk NFL coming up on VSiN. Follow the money. The Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, channel 158, baby.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Great college basketball card tomorrow, getting close to the madness. Hall of Famer Richie Baccellieri in studio. Stevie the Pencil, Hall of Famer, works here at Circa, and he loves college hoops. He lives clean, he eats clean, 4 miles a day on the treadmill, lives well, and smokes 2 packs a day. How you doing, Richie? Great to see you.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys, and it's a pleasure to be here with Mike.
Thank you for taking 10 minutes away from a cigarette. I mean, it's a sacrifice.
You know, I'm always doing it with Pauly and Mitch throughout. Now I heard, so
yeah.
good to be here with you, especially since he's my boss.
All right, sounds good, baby.
Ruben.
Yeah, excellent. So, how about San Jose State tonight? 18-2-1 ATS run. How about the guts on this team?
You're going to jump right into San Jose, aren't you? You ain't wasting no time.
Let's go.
Well, as we're talking now, the game in the last hour has gone from like 6.5, 7 up to 8. So I'm guessing the Judy and the McClendon kid are out. But you know, they were out the other night against San Diego State. The game went from like 6 to 9.5.
Right.
And you know, the dog played a great game, San Jose. Donovan Yap, the third leading scorer, he got hurt in the first half. He came back in the second half. He played great. They lose by 3. They get the money. You know, do they have the energy for another game like this? I mean, Nevada's been very up and down. They certainly don't have a great team. They might have won a few games in a row now, but who'd they beat? Air Force, Fresno. So I'm gonna see 8 on the board. I'm jumping in on it.
All valid points.
See, well,
I mean, they were up 17 in that game, too.
You got to wait to see a lineup. You know, when you're playing, it depends. If you're just throwing some money around and you're going to take a shot on something, that's one thing. But you know, when you're doing this every day, you got to make sure you get the best of the number. And looks like I might see some 8.5s.
Wow,
Richie, early tomorrow, Arkansas at A&M. I've got A&M in pocket at 60-1 for the tournament. I just think they're older kids playing against a lot of teams. They're 19 and 20-year-olds, and I love Buzz. But Cal and this rope-a-dope might start to be coming along here with Arkansas. Number's 8.5.
8.5. I have to look to see what I made. It seems a little high, but you know, one thing about Arkansas that I've noticed is they had the kid that came over from Florida Atlantic, this John L. Davis. He was kind of not really in the doghouse, but they paid the kid a lot of money, and he was riding on the bench. In the last few games, you know, he's come around. He's starting now. He's had some big games. I forgot the game they won. It was very big. I could see taking the points there. in that game. I mean, A&M at 60-1 ain't bad, but
Nice, Mike.
it's going to be an unbelievable tournament. I mean, I'm looking at these teams. When you're handicapping the bet, it's one thing. When you're handicapping to come on a show and try and talk about things, you have to look at the product differently. And man, there are some. I don't see any sleeper teams getting into the 16.
You're good.
Really?
You're good friends. Vinny Maiulo and Jimmy Vaccaro down at the South Point put up an interesting prop. SEC versus the field for the national title. And when they opened it, the SEC was plus 120. Now it's a dead pick'em.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts? You want the field or you want the SEC?
Well, I know that there was some money that might have come in on that prop at like plus $1.50. It's been moving around. It is a good prop. Usually the field is going to be a big favorite. I agree with that. But, you got 3 or 4 of the best teams in the country out of the top 5 or 6, all from the SEC. You might see 2 1s and 2 2s from them.
How about 3? How about 3 1s, a couple 2s? How about 14 teams in?
I think Duke and Houston are both formidable. They'll both probably end up with 1s. I mean, well, Houston, once again, there's no guarantee they win the Big 12.
They got to win tomorrow, right?
Duke should probably get through the ACC, but. Hey, you might see 2. You might see 3, but I would go with 2.
What are your thoughts on Houston, Arizona? Houston 1.5 on the road.
Yeah, made Houston a small favorite at Arizona. No opinion on it. Yeah, the problem is now this time of the year, the ratings get so ironed out that the numbers that I'm making are very close to the numbers on the board. It's very, very difficult to beat college basketball this time of the year for me.
What triggers a bet for you? If you have a number 5 and the number's 2, is there a certain number of points that trigger a bet for you?
Yeah, that's the delta. The delta between my number and the number posted this time of year is about 1.5. So if it's 1.5 off, I'll make a play. Early in the season, I'll go 2 points. But it's even hard to find. It's hard to find 1.5 right now.
Really? Even though you love the trash, like you said last week.
I love the trash, but
you're getting those added games. You love that crap, and
the odds makers, they do pretty good.
Huh?
They do pretty good from Jump Street. Even back early November, I couldn't believe how strong the numbers were the first few days of the year. Usually they're way off.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Tonight's interesting. Besides San Jose, the UCLA Indiana game.
Very interesting. What do you think?
You guys know about what UCLA is going east. I know that you guys are on top of everything.
Well, UCLA,
you guys are real. I'll say it. I've always said it. They're real degenerates. They love to gamble. They love to put their money up, so they know all this stuff. But they went East Coast about a month or a month and a half ago. They went down to North Carolina. I think they played Wake or Clemson, something like that. They lose. Then they got to wait 2 days. They go up to Jersey and play Rutgers. Lose.
When was the tirade? When was the Cronin tirade, Mike? Is that when the Cronin?
That was it, yeah.
That was the Cronin tirade. Okay.
Well, he did it 5 times. He had 5 press conferences where he went nuts.
Okay. Traveling west to east, he's pointed out that's a tricky trip. And a lot of other teams are having problems with that. So
Sure. But what... I was going to say
UCLA is a real square side tonight.
Yeah,
they all love it because Indiana can't do no good. They win getting 11 at Michigan State, right? Yeah. And now
I know, but Woodson out. That's why that's part of the handicap.
Well,
it's like let's
easy.
Yes.
The problem is I made UCLA 1.5. That's the problem. You got to decide. And if I'm a degenerate, then I'm going to go in for something because I can't. I got to play. Yeah. But I think the side would be Indiana +2 for me if I was going to play it. I would take a shot with them. I mean, it's they lose 5 in a row and they turn around and beat Michigan State. Tell me this ain't a tough sport to bet. Look at all the dogs that have won the last few days outright. Double-digit dogs.
Yep.
Indiana was something like a double-digit dog in like 9 straight games in the Big Ten.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Well, they had some problems. I know the Renault kid was out for a while, and I turned around. I took 8 with them against someone. I can't remember who, like a Saturday or Sunday game. They went outright getting 8. So, look, you put your money up, you take your shots, and you hope you get the best of it. You want to at least get the best of the number. You increase your advantages. And, keep your fingers crossed and hope your team hits 1 or 2 more threes than they're supposed to.
How about coaching? Is your part of your overall rating on a team is the coaching? But Do you look at individual coaching matchups in specific games? Does that move your number at all?
Not as much as it should. The coaching is certainly important. And my guy, friend of mine, Alan Boston.
It's a great question, Mike, because Boston's big into
probably
coaching.
one of the premier, still the premier college basketball handicapper out there, win or lose. There's nobody better. And, he looks at these matchups and he looks at the smart coaches, and he's probably favoring the better coach by a half a point or a point. He's told me point blank, I bet on this team because I looked who was coaching the other team. That he'll go with that. Now, granted, his numbers come into play. But when you got to do as many games as you got to handicap, there's a zillion games. When you got to do those and you got a day job, you got to get in the car and you got to help out Mike and Derek with the product and the sports book. It's kind of hard. But I would look at the coaching a little bit more if I could.
Well,
and, it's funny because when I was going through some stuff for today, I was looking at the coaching, and some of these top coaches like Pearl at Auburn, amazing. The Sampson, he's won like 130 games the last 4 years.
This is the game I look at with him and Tommy Lloyd tomorrow, because I think he's a far superior coach to Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, well,
Tommy Lloyd gets about as much out of his talent as his boss Mark Few did.
I'm not sure how healthy.
What?
I'm not sure how healthy the Cryer kid is and the other kid Sharp. I know Francis came back too. I laid 9 the other night. I laid 8 and I laid 9. Can't remember who they were playing. They were up 25. And then 20, 18, 16. And the damn thing is sitting on like 12 with 40 seconds to go. And I'm like, I'm going to lose. I pulled that one out. But they weren't supposed to play.
Baylor.
Baylor. I'm not very high on Baylor.
Yeah. Your question, though, Mike, in March, when you have the short turnaround, championship week, and the coaching comes into play and not a lot of time to scout, I think that's a big with the coaching edge if you have it and to make a bet. Sports betting never slows down, neither should you. Daytona 500, Four Nations, hockey, VSiN Pro subscription. You got the golf and MLB right around the corner, $9.99. Every pick, every host, every guest, the daily email from Bill 80. Full access, $9.99, vsin.com/subscribe. Richie, Bama, 1.5, 172 against Auburn.
Yeah, it's a hell of a game. Made Bama 1.5. No, I'm sorry. I made Bama 3. I was looking to lay 1 when I was writing down the 3. I see 1.5, but it's a cheap 1.5. I think you're going to see some Auburn money. Bama looks, to me, like they could be the best team in the country. I don't think I have them rated the highest. But I think they could be, on top.
More with Richie coming up next, the Hall of Famer. Some great stories about the young people can't get off the screen. The Billy Walters head fake, all his years working for the Maloofs at the Palm. Straight ahead, VSiN Follow the Money, Sirius XM Channel 158. More with Richie B.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Beating up at the Genesis. Thompson, your leader, 7 under through 12. Scheffler, Dunlap, McElroy, 2 shots back. McCarthy, who cashed at 60-1. Higher than that in some spots. First round leader, 4 under, along with Rogers. And Clark, 3 under. Adam Scott, 1 under. Rye, Fleetwood, Connors in the mix, in the top 20. Update on the golf. Been looking forward to this for a week. I think you're going to hit it out of the park here. So over almost 30 years experience in the casino business. And you always see characters coming out here, and maybe someone has too much to drink, but the do's and don'ts, and you see a lot of it unique, crazy behavior. But this is an interesting twist and spin on it. The Dirty Dozen, and there'll be some honorable mention as well. Don't be that guy. Don't do this at a hotel casino, and maybe you could tie it. Maybe it's more emphasis on playing or dealer, whatever, dealer abuse, whatever. But I'm excited for your list here and what you're going to have, because you're awesome with lists, and then plus all your experience and knowledge here. I think that'd be a home run. I'm excited.
We got to do it. Don't be that guy at the airport airplane one. I think we could come up with 12 pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's start with this list for casinos. Don't be that guy that tells everyone else how to play and usually has the least chips in front of him.
Yes.
Everybody advising, here's how you play crap. Here's how you should play blackjack. You can't hit this. You got to split on the roulette table, bet the outside. And that's always the guy that's busted, too. Annoying, Just play your own way.
Yeah.
Let everybody else come in and play their own way. If you don't like it, the way somebody's playing, go move to another blackjack table.
Yeah.
If you don't like it.
Big problem at blackjack.
It's the most problem at blackjack.
Yeah, very good. Don't do this. Okay, that's excellent. I like that.
Also, a little advice: if you're new, sit as far to the right as you can, right, as far away from third base as you can. If other people come in, then they can't. Some people can't figure out 5 cards from now what it would have been. I put this. They're in no particular order, but number 1 is a big one. Don't be that guy that splashes his chips onto the numbers on a craps layout. If you're playing craps, put your chips in front of you and maybe into the cum if you can, and let the dealer place them. There's 8 other people on your side or 7 other people putting bets, and they're all on a specific side. Then these people throw the money onto the number, and it goes onto the file, and it knocks everybody else's stack down. Now we're trying to figure out, well, who did you? I had 36. No, you had 30. I had this. I had 180. Just put the chips down and let the dealer move them to where they should be on the table.
Yep. FTM at vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. Get at us on Instagram. Don't be that guy. Things that bother you. Behavior at casinos. Okay.
Yeah, the list is not all inclusive. This is only a 3-hour show. Number 3, don't be that guy that just sat down and complains, I haven't seen a cocktail waitress in 30 minutes.
Oh!
Every day.
Oh, that's good.
Every day. Sit down 2 minutes. I haven't seen a wait. Where are the waitresses? I've been here 30 minutes. Where are the waitresses? Every day. These people.
Wow.
Exaggerating.
That's a good, yes.
Jerks.
Very good.
Want special attention.
I thought you were also going to go, can I win a hand?
Well, that could be. That didn't make the cut.
But I'm saying, that's excellent. That's a big problem.
They lose 3 hands and they want to know.
Yeah.
Dealer change. Hey, that's true. That didn't make the list. They demand a dealer change anytime they lose 3 hands in a row. Don't be that guy that asks anyone standing around on the table, are you the cooler whenever they lose? 7 outcomes. It looks some poor guy's coming up to watch. What do they send you in? Are you the cooler? Number 5. Don't be that guy that puts a taken sign on a chair and disappears for hours. You gave me this. Pauly, this was yours.
Hey, no, this is from JVT yesterday.
Oh, okay.
This is very good. And this is a big problem
coming up now.
In the sports book, at the bar. You cannot do this. You can't do this in a sports book where, taken, and there's just a sheet. And then you go for a walk and get something to eat for 45 minutes.
They lean the chair.
Chair. That goes whether you're at the sports book, you're sitting at the bar playing video poker. This is out of control. That's an excellent job. That was from Von Tobel yesterday. Good.
Number 6, don't be that guy that barber pulls his chips. I've talked to you about this before, Paul.
Yeah.
Stack your chips in denomination order. Don't rotate the green and the black and the red and mix them all up so that if the dealer has to pay you out, she has to break down your chips and stop the game. In anything that you do that slows down any game you're at, you're being a jerk. I was a kid, Bobby Garibay, that worked with me in Indiana.
Uh-huh.
He got stuck in a 30-60 Omaha game at the Empress in Joliet one time. He carried a lot of cash. He bought out the whole rack. He bought out every chip in the rack. Asked the dealer, how much is in the rack? It was $12,000. We stopped the game for 30 minutes to buy every chip in the rack. Then they had to give her a fill. Just because he was mad, he took a couple bad beats in a row. Don't be that jerk.
Oh, wow.
All right. Don't be that guy that plays the don't pass and then cheers when a 7 comes and the rest of the table loses. If you want to play the don't pass, that's your right. Do it quietly. Just do it quietly. Don't make a big deal. Now, if everybody's playing the don't pass, it's a different thing. But don't be a jerk. All right?
What do you think of that in general, though? Betting against a shooter. No?
Sometimes you have to handicap a shooter.
That's fair.
You know what I do? If I don't like the shooter?
Right.
I just don't play.
You just don't play.
I just don't play. I just don't play.
Excellent. That's a good one.
I set out shooters if I think they're and it's not that they're bitter, they're bad, but a good shooter is someone that has muscle memory and they can try to replicate what they're doing. People that throw it differently every time, you got no shot.
Joe Wardle has a problem with the people that play with the dice forever. Set the dice. It's like, let's go.
It's on here a little bit. There's a corollary of that.
I'm sorry.
This is probably the biggest one.
Oh, boy.
Number 8. Don't be that guy that blows smoke in other people's faces. It's okay. You can smoke. It's a free country. But smoke courteously, right? And especially if they lose a hand, right in the dealer's face.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. It was really exacerbated during COVID. Number 9.
How do you handle that if you're a dealer?
Number 9, and you hear this in the sports book too.
Sorry.
Well, you have to try to keep your cool. Number 9, don't be that guy that says, they don't tip me when I lose. Hear that, Paul, when you're playing? Somebody asks, well, you won a lot of money. You don't tip. Well, she doesn't tip me when I lose. You don't give the writers anything. You just hit a 4-teamer. Oh, they don't tip me when I lose.
Ooh. Big problem. Really? You hear it a lot?
Well, yes.
Wow.
You gave me number 10. Don't be that guy that claps every time a basket is scored.
This is outrageous. I couldn't believe it. It's referring. Yeah, it's whether you have a side or a total, the over in a basketball game. The guys from Jump Street. Yeah, all right. We're going to be here for a while. It's going to take 2.5 hours. That is obnoxious and asinine.
Have you ever been on air with Tim Murray when he has a basketball bet? He's that guy. He's down 4-0. I'm done. I can't deal with it. I just don't. Please don't let them see the game. Turn the game off.
I like the reverse jinx in the tweet about Mitch does that from time to time. That's over.
Oh, yeah.
This bet him. He'll do that in a Friday. It's reverse jinx a little bit, but that's that's a good one on 11.
Especially if he has a big future and they're losing in some playoff game. Mitch will come right out and firing early in the game on that. I didn't want to put this on, but it's kind of like this.
Okay.
The Penn State fans. Every time they make a first down, they all yell together, "We are Penn State." Well, they do that like at Bar Canada. If you're a 32-point favorite, I don't need to hear it the entire game. Okay. I understand. You're playing Notre Dame in Miami.
Yes,
it's okay, but come on.
Yeah.
Come on. When you're playing Alcorn, I can't take it.
I like it. Yeah.
Where are we at? Number 11. This is what you're talking about, Joe. Don't be that guy that takes the time to set the dice and then shakes them prior to shooting. If you're going to set them, then shoot it when you set them. It's a total waste of time. Yeah. This one here is specific to us, number 12. Don't be that guy that says, "I'm a friend of Derek." Oh, we hear that 100 times a day. Well, I'm a friend of Derek because they want something. They want something. I'm a friend. Derek meets 1,000 people. He stands and shake hands all the time. They do that. They think that they own the place, right?
Oh.
I know Joe mentioned also because we have the rice up in high limit for the baccarat and the Asian player. Don't be that person that takes the rice and then spills it all over the table. You like the Tupperware story.
Yes.
Where they come in with the Tupperware and fill up the rice bowl.
Yeah.
Tupperware.
Yeah, take it to go. It was a big problem. And
big issue.
Yeah, and some people maybe would eat out of it from time to time. That was how about spilling a drink on the felt?
Oh, that's awful. The dice is the worst.
It is?
You get these people, they hold their beer. That's why there's a rail underneath at a dice table.
Yes.
Because you got to move everybody. It ain't for 4 people you're moving to the next blackjack game. You got to pick up everything. And then remember where everybody's chips were. There's contract bets on a dice table. Right? You're on the pass line. It's a contract bet. You can't just take it up. The time it takes if somebody spills a drink on a dice table to move it kills everybody just wants to leave.
What are we talking about on blackjack? Is it 15 minutes? Is it you spill a drink on a blackjack table?
If there's another table, you can get it moved in 10 minutes.
Yeah? Okay. Joe said this. He doesn't like when the guy plays the don't pass and the pass. Some places don't even allow it.
Yeah. When the pop-up dice games first came out and they were giving you points, they all allowed that. You have to fade the 12 because the 12's a push and a loser. But you could rack up a lot of free play at some of these joints just doing the don't on them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Your reaction to the list. FTM@vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. Maestro did a great job. Honorable mention. Did he miss anything? Bad behavior, things you hate to see. Don't be that guy at a casino. Your reaction coming up next. And get in on the action at First Bet. They have you covered. Access to exclusive promotions and bets on hundreds of thrilling horse races every day, right from your phone or computer. Visit First Bet. Use promo code VSIN200. Get a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days, up to $200. Don't miss out. Start betting today at firstbet.com. A+, he nailed it. Did it in 9 minutes. Your reaction coming up. And again, honorable mention to Don't Be That Guy. Almost 30 years experience in the casino business. More with that on Mike Palm, VSIN, Follow the Money. The Sports Betting Network, VSIN Watch app, Sirius XM Channel 158. Tell your friends.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was not.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Damn right. Love the movie Casino. Not bad last night. San Francisco plus 14.5. Tight game at halftime. Zags win, but don't cover. Zags win by 11, so we get the cheese. Omaha, South Dakota State over. Beautiful. 98-85. Jackrabbits in that one. Norman Powell over 23.5 points. He had a big game, went over. And the come-from-behind win for the Clippers. That is now a 31 and 14 run. 31, and it's great. It's a great run over. Just check out the prop analyzer, everydayvsin.com. But Powell's been strong going his over prop with the points. And Juju got me. Woo! What a performance. Down goes UCLA. UCLA women, number one team in the country, 23-0, coming in 22 by double digits. Depends where you shop, but they were getting 1.5 at DraftKings. And USC wins, and Watkins was awesome. So that's a loser there. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm going to enjoy it. Love this country. I think Canada wins. And Canada will knock off USA for the Battle of the Four Nations. And how about the total? You like it. Oh, you'll get. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but the total's 6.5. So I'll take Canada tomorrow night. Good luck, everyone.
All games over in this tournament.
Yeah.
Okay. Arkansas catching 8 against Texas A&M. That's an early game tomorrow morning. I think this rope-a-dope that Coach Cal was doing coming to argue, he didn't know they were getting beat. They were 0-3. When are we playing our next game? All of a sudden, it's starting to come together for Arkansas, and they're competitive in all these games. I don't know that A&M shoots well enough to blow them out of this game. I'll play over in the game tomorrow. I think every game until you get to the championship game in that tournament, you can play over because nobody wants to get hurt. Remember, nobody wants to get hurt. Yes, there'll be some intensity here because of geopolitical things, but the Canadian power play and their speed.
Yeah.
Look
out of the box.
Look at it. Canada team total over. You can play it over a flat 3-2 here. I like that way of attacking this game as well. But I have Canada plus 140 now to win it all on the adjusted lines here. Remember, it was a pick 'em. It pick 'em before. And this, because of the results of the first 2 games with Sweden pushing Canada, all of a sudden the market overreacted here.
Yep, edge boost, card never declined. Don't leave money on the table. Put money back in your pocket for doing what you love already, which is betting. Take it to the next level. Edge Boost has your back. If you ever had your deposit blocked by your bank right before a big bet or needed cash at 2 a.m. for another shot at the tables, but you hit your ATM limit, those fees are outrageous. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors. All gambling-related transactions will be approved. No more headaches. High rollers can move up to $250,000 a day on your Edge Boost Visa debit card with unlimited withdrawals. It works 24/7 for instant deposits. Never wait for a wire to clear again. And every time you deposit into a gambling account, you earn cashback rewards up to 0.5 percentage point. All this for no usage fees and no minimum balance. This is a bank account, not a credit card. No approval required or credit checks. Go to edgeboost.bet, code FTM, edgeboost.bet. Start at Tier 2 for faster bank transfers, higher cashback rewards. Edgeboost.bet. Sign up for Edge Boost today. There you go. So tonight, coming up, UCLA, Indiana, UCLA 2, and 141 now the total against Indiana. It's a big deal with their record.
It's hard to handicap Indiana now in the post-Woodson. Right? They finally come up with a big win. Yeah. Meanwhile, Cuff didn't like my play. He liked Illinois minus 70. It wasn't an official play, but he leaned that way. They've played so well since these Cronin rants. But he's right now when you look back and he talk about their travel.
Yep.
We got to go. We see the Statue of Liberty. We see the Pentagon. We're flying, and you're worried about Iowa spending 2 days in L.A. where it's 72 degrees, and we got to fly back east into bad weather. And they haven't won any games outside the Pacific time zone. So what did Richie say? UCLA is a very square play tonight. Very, very square play tonight. So I guess I would play it, but Richie shamed me. He bet shamed me right off the game. So I can't play it, Richie.
That's good. That's great. And Nevada's laying 8 at San Jose State. The Spartans on an 18-2-1 ATS run. And I couldn't believe it the other night.
He said, who's out that caused the line to move 4 points?
I know, right?
3 guys out?
You were great on that, right?
Right.
Like, can San Jose State have a guy that can move the line 5 points? Yeah, right. From 5.5 up to 10. And they were up 17 at the half. And then lost by 3. Now, the Aztecs hit him with a 17-0 run to open the second.
Meanwhile, the Aztecs are we talked about the first half.
Here.
Well, how about the first halves on this team?
Man.
They were down to Air Force.
Yeah. Yeah.
At half.
Good point. Houston 1.5. I like Arizona. Houston 1.5 at Arizona, 138 the total. And the big one, Bama at Will Hill Caesars, 2.5, 172.5. In that one. And these games are tough. I mean, the SEC is so damn good. And I looked at updated bracketology today. Joe Lenardi has 14 teams in to tournament from the SEC. Oh, that would be wild if that happens. And I think it will. But I would lean over with Bama.
What does he have, Missouri?
Auburn.
A 5 seed?
Let me
Where
look.
does he put Missouri in his bracket?
Give me a second.
Yeah, you got time. I'm telling you. How about Wisconsin, Purdue over 148 and a half?
Okay.
How about that? This isn't your grandfather's band. This isn't Steve
right.
Yoder. This isn't Steve Yoder's teams. These guys chuck it up there. Ever since they hired that coach that was the analytics guy for the Spurs, this team, it's been hard to catch up to the totals on their games.
Yeah. First 4 out. VCU, SMU, Wake, and North Carolina. Last 4 in. San Diego State, BYU, Arkansas, Georgia. Next 4 out. Xavier, Indiana, Kansas State, Boise. Oh, this bubble. Auburn a 1 in the South. The 8-9 is Gonzaga, New Mexico. Marquette a 5, Michigan State a 4, Illinois a 6, Kentucky a 3, Houston is the 2. In the West, Florida a 1 seed. UConn's an 8. Imagine seeing Hurley in the second round. If you're a 1, wow.
What does he have, Drake, a 10?
Let me look. I think it was 10 or 11.
And Iowa State at 3, because it said possibly
Yeah.
in one projection, it must have been because it would be, or a 2, because there would be a possible, and just in a projection, a possible second-round matchup, Drake versus Iowa State, if they both had advanced.
That'd be awesome. Yep. It's got UCLA a 6. Wisconsin a 4. Memphis a 5. Nice win last night. Texas Tech a 3. Richie's pick on a future St. Mary's a 7 seed.
He loves them.
Yep. Oregon, Utah State in an 8-9 game. You were asking about Missouri's a 6 playing Drake in 11. Drake's an 11? I thought, come on.
So that means Iowa State would be a 3, because it'd be the 3-6 game, so 3-11 if they won.
Iowa State a 3
Yep.
playing Northern Colorado a 14. Yep. Purdue a 2. Creighton, Oklahoma in a 7-10.
Did you say Michigan already?
I did not. Let me
Okay.
find him. He's got Purdue, Michigan. Where's he got Michigan?
Is Hubert Davis out if Carolina doesn't make the tournament?
Is that what you're hearing?
That's what I'm hearing.
It'd be tough.
I'm
I
all
don't know
called
about
it.
that. Yeah?
I'm all called it. Said he wouldn't last 5 years.
Wow.
Told Femi. He told Femi, and then they made the run to the finals.
Right. Michigan a 4 seed.
4, okay.
Okay. Your conference breakdown. SEC 14, 10 from the Big 10, 8 from the Big 12, 4 from the Big East, 3 from the ACC, 3 from the Mountain West.
3 from the ACC.
Wow. Yes.
Louisville, Clemson, and Duke.
Wow.
That's it.
That is brutal. Oh, ever think you'd see the day that happened? 14 from the SEC, 3 from the ACC?
It's bizarro world.
It is. A lot of fun. Other big
College
games.
baseball started today, too. Softball and baseball, Paul. Sure, we'll have Matt Grisham on during the course of the year with all his baseball picks.
You like anything? Do you think?
I haven't looked yet.
Oh, okay. What'd you think of? Derek has high hopes for this.
Yes, he does. We had a long meeting with Jeff Benson, and Chris Bennett.
Yeah.
About booking the Saturday games. You know, people really only want to bet the Friday games with the number 1 starters in these series, right? People don't handicap down to the 2 and 3 starters. So he still thinks it's going to have a big boom. Remember, he said that Super Regional weekend would be as big as the opening round of the. He's been right about a few things, but this one not yet.
Yeah. Well, the other news too, according to Sports Business Journal.
Oh yeah.
We are getting 2029 Super Bowl in Las Vegas, and we're jumping the line. So we get 2029. That means we're in, baby, and we're in the rotation.
I'm excited for the Final Four.
That's
regionals.
awesome, too.
Those are all big things to me.
Yep.
Rather than a Super Bowl, is to see a regional final or Final Four here.
Yes, no doubt. That's huge news. And the rotation should be us, Miami, New Orleans. Primetime coming up next. Von Tobel, Murray. And don't forget the new show now with Murray does all the picks on Saturday with the college football, college basketball, all the handicappers. That's great. Big news there. And that's coming up. And then you got go back, listen to the podcast. A lot of picks, a lot of guests today. What Lou gave out UFC, what Jonathan Davis gave out, and always go up to the website too. Nigel with the picks. Great information on Crystal Palace, Everton. with the history there.
How about Leicester? Shut out their
That's
last 4 at home.
Yeah, another good angle. Great job, Mike. Phenomenal.
Thanks, Paul.
A+, good list.
Enjoy your vacation
Thank
next
you.
week.
It's Von Tobel and Palm Monday. Mitch back Tuesday. Go get him.